All right, hello everybody. It's the Meista from Brews and Tunes. Cheers. I am very excited today. I am chatting with the one and only Mr. Josh Gibbs, bassist of such bands as Malevolent Creation, Swamp Gas. Well, you play guitar in that band, right? Um,
Yes, yep.
yeah, Solstice. Geez, you Thrash and Die. I mean, you play in all sorts of cool projects. How you
Fresh
doing, my
die.
friend?
Pretty good, man. How you today?
Not too bad, not too bad. It's a little snowy here in Utah, but yeah, I'm inside and warm and got some coffee, so I'm good.
Right on.
um, well, I know you announced just recently some really big news on social media. I wanted to ask you about that. You have joined a kind of a legendary band, and I'll let you kind of jump on and talk about that.
Well, a friend of mine tagged me in a post for the band Atrophy. Said there was a video Brian had put up saying that they needed a bass player, and right now I'm kind of not doing much. So my friend was like, "Oh man, if you could join this band," because he knew I was in Malevolent. It's like dude I knew known since like middle school. He's like, that would be amazing. So I was like, all right, let me see. So I sent them some videos and some stuff, and we started chatting. Brian was really cool, and he told me, hey, learn these songs, video. So I did, and they liked it. So the next step was to start recording because they're putting on an album, third album. So I've been recording bass and stuff for the album, and yeah. And then I asked them, hey, I'm going to be on a interview. Do you mind if I announce that I'm in the band? He said, sure, dude. He's like, we'd love to have you. So that was
Awesome,
that. So I
very
play
cool.
Atrophy,
Awesome, that's
which
very
I'm
cool.
excited to do,
Yeah,
man. Those
congratulations.
guys are super cool.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So you already started recording. Is there a target date for the album release? I don't know if you're at liberty to talk about that at this point, but
I, I had asked him because I'm used to like deadlines with Century Media and Malevolent and shit and having to, oh, we have to have things done by then. He's like, no, I don't really like a deadline. I want it to just happen as it happens. So that's kind of cool of him, and with me working at a pressing plant, I press records and stuff 9 hours a day, sweating my balls off. I come home and then I gotta record, and it's a never ending process
right. Right.
of stuff. So some days I just want to take a break. So it's kind of cool to be able to do that.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm really
So there's a
excited.
little lag going on.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't yeah, I think we've got a snowstorm here that might be causing some
It's
issues
all
with
good.
the internet connection. Um, yeah, I'm really excited to hear the new Atrophy material. I'm always a big fan of that band, so I'm
Man, the songs are awesome.
cool. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
So it's
everything
you
I've
and
been playing so
Brian
far is
and
killer.
who else is in the band at this point?
I've only talked to the other guitar player, Mark.
Okay.
The other guys I haven't met yet or spoken with, but
Okay.
I've seen guitar. I've seen some shredding of the one guy, and he's definitely capable. Um, I'm looking forward to maybe some touring. I think in June, so we'll be getting together at some point
Oh, nice.
uh, to jam. So
Very cool. Oh,
that happens, it'll come together.
nice. Oh, yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, sorry. Looks like we locked up there a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that is awesome. That's super exciting. Congratulations. Like I said, I can't wait to hear the new Atrophy material. Now I know you joined Malevolent Creation back in 2017, and of course 16 somewhere around there. And of course we're on the 2019 album, The 13th Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Killer stuff. How
Thanks,
did how
man.
did you originally get involved with Malevolent?
All right. Oh, I had just parted ways at the time. I was at a show, I believe it was an Amon show, which Ronnie Palmer was actually playing drums at that, which is kind of funny because that's where me and Phil started talking. And he had mentioned, hey, since you're not in Solstice anymore, would you be interested in, playing some music with me? And I really wasn't thinking he was talking about Malevolent. I thought maybe he was talking about, Hate Plow or doing some other new project or whatever. And then I gave him my number, and then it was like maybe a week later, I was out at a seafood festival, and I get a call, and it was him, and he was asking me to join Malevolent, and of course I said I'm on board.
Nice.
and that was pretty much history.
Yeah, very cool. And I know, you know, you've done multiple tours with them, and you guys finished up a tour. I guess it was earlier, well, kind of fall of this past year, right? I think you guys did a big tour across
We,
California.
yeah, we did a U.S. tour for the 30th anniversary of Retribution, and then we went to Europe to do the same thing over there.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything happening with the band right now, or are you guys kind of on hiatus, or?
It's not really hiatus, but we have a new member in the band now, Darren, and Phil decided Ryan wasn't the fit for the band, which is very unfortunate and kind of upsetting to me because I felt he was the man for the job. And Darren is a killer musician, great guy. Every time I've talked to him, had nothing but respect for him, and I welcome him into the band. As long as I'm here, he's cool.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's Phil's band and his choice and his decision of what happens. So, what can I do?
Yeah, exactly.
I can only line the pieces up and watch them fall.
Right.
And so we're in the moment trying to write an album, but it's just a kind of little. It's taking the time. It takes time to get everything together. So
right.
The path we were on got sidetracked, and now we're over here. So
gotcha.
Kind of what's going on with that band.
Yeah, cool. And you mentioned you had left Solstice, another killer death metal band. You were in Solstice for a few years back, like 2014, 20.
I think like almost 5 years.
Yeah.
The band.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I love those guys, and actually, Dennis. Yeah, no problem. Actually, Dennis is looking to do some more stuff with that band, so that band might be reactivated again. And
oh, cool.
With Marquez on drums, Dennis, of course, on guitar, Ryan Taylor doing what he does, and then me playing bass. So we'll be back.
Very cool.
Hopefully, if it happens, we'll see.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome. I would love that. I mean, I think, in terms of rhythm sections, I think you and Alix Marquez are. That's smoking stuff right there.
Thanks, man. Oh, and there's a live album coming out from all the touring we did when we went to Europe. It should be coming out sometime this year. I haven't talked to Dennis on get exact dates, but there will be a vinyl release of a live album.
Great.
With
very cool.
All of us on it.
Excellent news. Very cool news.
I love that. Which I'm looking forward to.
Nice. Very cool. And of course, you play with Alix and Ryan and Thrash or Die as well.
Correct.
Yep. So, and that was formed around the same time you joined Malevolent, right? Or close to that period of time?
No. Thrash or Die has been around way before.
Okay.
I was in it. So there was a band had been around maybe 10 or so. When I joined Solstice, it was Ryan was in Thrash or Die and Alix was in Thrash or Die, and they needed a bass player. So I kind of just was, hey, come play with us. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was just the fit because I was already in this band, or here we are. It was just kind of made sense.
Yeah, nice. Is anything happening with
Thrash or Die had already been going.
Oh, okay. Is there anything happening with Thrash or Die right now? Do you guys have any plans? Actually,
no, man. It's sad, but too many projects with other members, and it's kind of taking a backseat. And also, Ralph is not that he's old, but he's kind of not fit for the road. So anything we do is going to be probably here in Miami, or like I said, maybe a one-off or some. So we went to Peru and we've gone to other places and done shows, but it's pretty much on the back burner at the moment.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully we'll see something in the not too distant future. That would be cool.
Yeah, man.
So kind of speaking about some of all these various bands you've been in, I wanted to go kind of back in the past a bit, and I was really curious about how you got started in music in the first place. Did you come from a musical family? Kind of what was the impetus there, and did you gravitate towards the bass first, or did you start with other instruments?
Well, I mean, I've always been around music as most people. My mom be jamming Loverboy in the car or like some kind of, something when the Eagles or Paul Simon or Jimi Hendrix. She listened to all kinds of crazy stuff for back then, and I love her for it. And so I always had an inclination towards it, and eventually, my mom for my birthday bought me Van Halen 1984 and Michael Jackson Thriller and a little Walkman, thing. And
Nice.
that's when I was like, man, guitar, dude, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, I got to figure that out. And then, of course, MTV happened, and I saw it on TV and playing guitar, and that was the eureka moment, and I started from there playing guitar. But in the early phases, my grandfather had me take organ lessons, and I hated that shit. I despised all of it, but I was very happy when I look back on it because I learned basically the music language at a young age. I was like, maybe 7 or something like that, going to organ lessons,
Wow.
and it helped me when I got to guitar to already have an understanding of the piano and guitar and can transpose each other. And yeah, so about 12, I started playing guitar.
Nice.
And it took over pretty much. Just love music. And ever since then, I played guitar. But coming to bass, I never, poo-pooed the instrument at all, but I never picked it up really. And Alix had hit me up, to be in Solstice, and he's like, "Look, man, we already have 2 guitar players." He's like, "And I really want you in a band." He's like, I don't want to, degrade you or whatever." He's like, "But would you play bass?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, man, I'd love to." So
Nice.
it gave me an opportunity to kind of rekindle that fire for music because here's something new for me to come into. And ever since then, I've just loved playing it.
Very cool. Very cool. How did
I
you
do now consider myself a bass player.
awesome. Yeah, yeah. And a very well established and killer bass player at that, I would say. Um, how did you
Well, thank you
get
very much, man.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
So you mentioned that Alix had asked you to join Solstice. How did you get involved with Alix? Did you know Alix already? I mean, obviously you knew him already, but how did you get
There's a
involved?
there's a story there. Well, one of the first bands I ever started with my buddies I skateboarded with. We were into hardcore and stuff like that. I started a band called Cornerstone. But Miami is way out. It's like basically an island zone. Then especially, and we would, and I remember how I got the flyer, but the flyer for the 12 hours. We all were like, "Oh hell yeah, let's go to this." So we go to this show, and I end up meeting Alix, and I talking to him because he was actually like the promoter of it somehow.
Oh,
He
wow.
put it on, I believe. And he's like, "Oh, you got a band?" I'm like, "Yeah, we got a hardcore." And when I told him it was a hardcore band, he's like, "Oh shit, man!" He's like, "Are you guys here?" I was like, "All of you?" I was like, "Yeah." So we ended up playing
Oh,
it.
wow.
So that's like how I met Alix. Was back in the day.
Oh, that's cool. That
And
is
then he remembered me through the scene, and when he was getting Solstice back together, he was like, "Oh man, that guy," So he
that's really
remembered
cool.
he remembered me through that.
That's really cool. That's a great story. I love that. And I'm sorry that again we're having some lag here. So you kind of broke up. What was the name of the first band? The band that you were? It kind of got choppy there for a second.
It was called Cornerstone. You won't
Cornerstone.
find any demos, anything about that band. It was the first thing I did, and actually, I have one recording from like a garage uh, thing that Ryan found and showed me. The guy's like crazy with all this stuff, man. He's on the hunt for the rare stuff.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I totally get that. I understand that for sure. Anytime I travel, I always look for record stores and
Yeah.
try to find the kind of the rarities.
Oh
Especially
yeah, he's good at that, man.
Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, I was just my wife and I were just in Amsterdam last week and went to a really cool record store there, and they had some pretty cool American death metal stuff, but so, on
Oh,
vinyl.
cool.
Some of it was
Right
pretty
on.
pricey because it was, some rare stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, just cool to see it, especially in a foreign country. In the Netherlands, it's like, oh wow, what? How do they have this, Morbid Sane album? How do they have this?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's that's one of the fun things of touring too, man. I get to go on the hunt every now and then, in between gigs and go on walkabout and go to record stores and find cool shit like that.
Nice, nice.
It's
Um,
one of the things I enjoy doing.
right. That's great. I know you've done a little bit of engineering and mixing as well. In the past. Is that
Oh
is
yeah.
that something you like to do? Is that something you continue to do? Is that, yeah? And how did you get involved with that?
Oh yeah. All right. Well, so music has been a long journey. There have been times when, you play in bands and you certain people cross with it and you kind of take back from part of it from behind the scenes. I love music. There's so many aspects of it that you can do. I had a friend who was a stagehand, so I started getting into setting up shows, and I started off as a stagehand, and then I got into audio engineering through live audio. But I had already been doing recording on my own, from for bands and stuff, because basically you need somebody to do it, and I ended up just being the guy that was smart enough to figure it out, I guess. You know what I mean? All the other guys like, oh man, I don't have time for that. Oh, let me buy something, little tape recorder thing, and start figuring it out. So I was already interested in it from 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 before, but I got into audio, and then I got into lighting, and then I got into rigging, and I basically ran the whole gamut of the stagehand deal. And then that's basically, once I was doing that, uh, that's when Alix hit me up to be in the band. So then that's when I actually started touring and doing that I the whole time. But yeah, so engineering came to me through just being a stagehand and doing that stuff, and constantly buying gear and learning. And I like to learn stuff, man. So I like to in dive into all different aspects of the industry of music, of all these things, because there's so much to learn in so many aspects of it.
Yeah,
So I'm never bored with it. Let's just say.
that's cool. That's great. That's really cool. And it probably I would imagine it helps a lot in terms of just the bands you're in, because what the band is supposed to sound like, and so to be able to do some engineering and mixing and things like that. Whereas not to put down anybody that does that that's not in the professional engineers, but I mean you have a really solid understanding of, okay, this is what the band should sound like, and not having to explain that to another
Oh
person.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
I know how to achieve that sound as well, which is very important.
Yeah.
And that's from this years of doing this stuff, man. One of my best friends is Jason Sukoff, which owns Audio Hammer Studios. I owe a ton of respect and stuff to him, because he taught me a lot in the early phases. He got me a jump uh, to where I am now. And like the last big thing I did, I guess, was the 13th Beast. But I've also recorded my own bands. This is band Pain Drive. I'm in with Ryan. He actually plays drums. It's a hardcore band.
Cool. Very cool.
There should be tapes and 7 inches coming at, and Alphanumeric as well. I recorded, and then the 13th Beast, which I engineered and recorded, and then Dan Swano mixed and mastered.
Yeah.
And pretty much every time I recorded bass, I've done it myself as well.
Oh, really?
So any albums I'm on, like this Atrophy stuff, I'm doing the recording myself,
Oh, nice. Very
and
cool.
then sending them the wave files.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Yeah, it's such an interesting, modern world we live in where, bands don't live in the same state, sometimes not in the same country.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, with Malevolent, he was in South Africa, and Cancilla was in Las Vegas, so we
Yeah,
had that going on.
yeah,
So yeah,
that's
it's crazy.
yeah, that's interesting. That's it's got to be. I mean, in some ways, I mean, it's got to be, nice, that kind of freedom, to not have to worry about getting everybody together. But I guess, until you're actually going to do a tour and need to get together to rehearse, I would imagine logistically that can be complicated sometimes. But
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah,
yeah,
uh,
definitely.
tell me a little bit about. So you mentioned, so of course you're doing Atrophy, but then also you mentioned the Painkiller with Ryan. So kind of and it's a hardcore band, right? Kind of more punk. Uh,
Correct.
cool. And who
Yeah,
else plays in that?
it's my friend Jonathan. He hasn't ever done. He's not. We actually played our first show with him. It was his first show, which is awesome. I got to pop his cherry there. And this dude Eric, who plays bass in a band called Body Blow, which is another hardcore band that Ryan's in. He plays guitar in that. And then Ryan plays drums in this band, Pain Drive, and then myself on bass.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Very cool. Um, and sorry, I know we're having a little bit of a lag. Did you say that you guys you have new music coming? You're recording?
For Pain Drive?
Yeah, Paint Drive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's already been done. I
Oh,
recorded it, mixed it, mastered it. It's been sent off.
oh, cool.
There's I'm not sure on the release date yet, but there is a release going to be this year, and it's going to be on 7-inch and tape.
Okay, great. Okay, yeah. Sorry, that's what you said. Yeah, like I said, it kind of broke up there, and I heard you say I heard 7-inch, and I was like, what was that again? So yeah, that's cool. I'm excited to hear that. That'll be great.
Yeah, no, it's already online actually. If you wanted to
Oh,
YouTube, I
cool.
think you can look up Pain Drive and you'll find it. I'm not sure if there's. We're kind of like weird with this band. Brian's like, I don't want to make any social pages and this and that. I'm like, all right, I don't care. Find us, I guess. But yeah. So I know it's on YouTube. I don't know if he started any pages for it yet. Maybe once the record comes out, that and get that going.
Nice. I will definitely be looking at Pain Driver after this interview. I definitely need to hear this. That's exciting news. Very cool.
Right on.
Yeah,
I hope you
interested
like
to
it.
hear. Yeah, I'm interested to hear Ryan on drums as well. That'll be cool. Nice. Very cool. Do you
Yeah,
have?
and this is his. He's all my friends are kind of multi. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry.
We keep laughing. I was gonna say, most of my friends are multi-instrumental kind of dudes, so it's cool to have be on a record with Ryan, and this is his first, coming out as a drummer. So,
Yeah, that's
and he's
really
been
cool.
playing drums for years. He's a killer drummer too.
Oh,
So,
nice, nice. I had no idea.
yep.
That's really interesting. That's cool. Now, and you're also you play guitar in the band Swamp Gas as well. Um, is that
Time to
still
time, yeah, yep.
okay?
When Pepperoni needs my assistance, he's like, "You're my Miami guy."
Okay,
Like, all right,
very cool. And then you also have another I guess it's more of a project, Alphanumeric. You play in Alphanumeric, which
correct,
all of you in that band are of course very busy, so it's kind of more just albums. You don't really tour, correct?
correct. Yeah, it's like a project band. Paul was in Suck and legendary dude. He's a great guy. Got nothing but good things to say about that guy. He started Roman Numeral, which is a label that we're on, which he's put out, some killer bands on that label as well. And you mentioned Swamp Gas. Messina basically started that band with Paul, and then they brought me in to play bass.
Oh, okay.
And then, I ended up recording and doing all that stuff. And yeah, man. So, and Lee, the drummer, killer drummer, but it's a little hard for this band to do like a tour or anything like that because of work, the way they are with their jobs and stuff. And basically, if we did anything, it would be like a festival gig or like a one-off, something like that. Probably, I don't think there will be anything more than that. But we do plan on, and I think Pepperoni currently is writing stuff for the next alphanumeric release. So
Oh, great.
that'll probably be maybe end of the year next year or something like
Cool.
that.
Very cool. Yeah, that was actually my next question. So yeah, thank you. That's interesting. That's great to hear. Great, man. You are a busy guy. You got a lot of stuff
Dude.
going on all the time. It sounds like.
I mean, I love it. I don't like to stagnate, and I love music, man. It's it's in my blood, dude. There's no ever stop. So I feel very lucky and fortunate to have met the people I've met to get where I'm at. Um, you know, I'm humbled by the experience, and I meet all kinds of cool people all the time, all over the world. So it's really been a cool journey, man, and I'm happy to be
Nice.
doing it.
That's great. Yeah, definitely keep doing it because yeah, you're definitely producing some really amazing music. Uh, with all of the
Thank
bands.
you, man.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff, and just some of those bass lines, whew, man, just killer stuff. I really enjoy it. I'm not a musician
Appreciate you,
myself,
dude.
but I definitely love, yeah, putting on the headphones and sitting back with a cold beer and banging my head to the mighty bass of Mr. Josh Gibbs for sure.
Right
Um,
on, brother.
well, thank you.
It's
Oh,
sorry, man.
oh,
As far as the bass lines go, I never try to overdo it. I always try to listen to the composition and give it what it needs and what I hear in my head, kind of thing. So
yeah,
all that stems from somewhere. I'm
right.
thankful for that.
Well, but with all of the projects you're on, all the recordings that I have and have listened to, that's one thing that, yeah, I mean, I think it sounds, and again, I'm not a musician, but it sounds very organic in terms of, you know, the work you're doing with other musicians. It never feels forced. It feels like, those notes, whether it's complicated or simple, it belongs. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
that's the right note for that moment in that song. It seems like you always have a really good, um, like you I don't know again, I don't know how to put this into the right words, I guess, but
No, that's the goal, man. What you're saying. I don't want to. I'm not a flashy guy. I was trying to make it right
yeah,
and make it what it's supposed to be.
yeah, which is great. Well, Josh, thank you so very much for chatting with me today. This has been great and really interesting, and
Awesome, man.
excited for new music coming out from multiple bands that you're in. But definitely Atrophy. I cannot wait to hear that. I'm a big Atrophy fan, and yeah, when I heard the news that well, you announced it here, but I remember seeing you announced it on Facebook, I believe,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
past
yeah.
week.
Correct,
Yeah, that was an
Brian.
exciting post for me. um,
Right on, man. Cool, bro.
so yeah, I
Yeah, no,
can't wait to
I'm
hear it.
I'm super excited to play with those guys. I like I said, I love touring. I love doing all that stuff, and in any aspect that they need my help, I've been giving it. And yeah, I just look forward to the future with them because they're really super cool. I don't foresee any issues with people or this or that because sometimes that stuff happens.
Yeah,
And yeah, yeah, man, it's gonna be good times.
awesome. Well, thank you again so much. This has been great chatting with you, Josh. Have a killer
Thanks,
day,
man.
and yeah,
You too,
everybody
brother.
watching, keep an eye out for a lot of cool music coming your way from Mr. Josh Gibbs and his friend.
and Navy.
Yeah, nice. All right, thank you, sir.
Have a good one, bro.